So now we will go to some less popular lines where black transfer his knight up to b5. We are now looking at the Benko. It's starting here, and then we capture twice, develop our bishop to g2, and remember to play rook b1. Then after castle castle, main move is queen a5. It's also possible to play knight b6. Those two moves are not on the agenda now. On the agenda is instead knight e8 and also knight g4. But knight g4 I don't understand. Because you see it ends up on e5, but after capture on e5 we can play b3, and then the knight on e5 have no squares to move to. So why put a knight in the center where it has absolutely no way to have influence? So this is not a good maneuver. And okay, after queen a5 maybe he can put his queen on a3, but we can easily prevent that with queen c1. And after rook f, b8 and a4, I don't see any other plan for black but to put pressure on the b file. But after f4 and bishop f3, then again I have no clue how black should improve his position here. He can at one point play c4, but then no more. And we would love to get many exchanges and then win the endgame. So knight e8 with the idea to move it up to b5, exchanging the knight on c3, because that knight is often needed to defend the queen side. But I believe that we can just play rook d1 here and actually just give the pawn back. If knight b5, we exchange and the queen is just on time to defend the pawn on a2. And I have no clue again what knight e5 is good for, because we can also exchange that one and play bishop h6. We are pawn up, and what does black has to show for that? Well, maybe he has some compensation in open lines in this, but no more. And of course he's fighting for a draw, black, and I don't see much point in that. c4 of course is a mistake. Idea with c4 is that we can't capture the pawn because of bishop a4 and then winning a rook at least. And then the point with c4 is not good enough, because we can play knight d4 and then the move c5, c4 shows out to be a bad move. Now this knight can often go to d4, and when it is on d4 it threatens to go to the square c6. So only idea for black with this maneuver knight e8 to c7, only serious idea must be to capture on c3. And here black must sacrifice a piece, a quality, I mean, if white is capturing back with the queen. But I like somehow just the simple b capture c3, and after bishop c4 keeping the pawn on d5, and then simply exchanging one pair of rooks. And I believe that it will count in the end that white has the bishop, the black squared bishop, because the squares around the black king is weak and white can start an attack later on. That's my belief. So I prefer white here. Another option, as I said, is after bishop capture c3 to capture back with the queen, and then of course going for the rook on f8. And he will get the rook on f8 now, but I don't think that the position is that clear here, even though I think white is better, but I think black's position is playable.